I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a you got it, a beautiful day, and I have a wonderful guest on the show. As a matter of fact, we're going to be talking about weight loss and no exercise. The two things that I love. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Okay, so lately I've gone on this exercise craze. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. Can we stop now? So I have been doing that and okay, I have a lot of fun. It's kind of like a dancing exercise thing, and I have a lot of fun with it. But diet and exercise are two different things. And I want to know what it is. So we're gonna have my guest on the show, and I'm gonna welcome him today. It's he has a new book called was it Stop Exercising.
It's not
So
so new anymore, but it's one of my most popular ones.
it's new to me.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, well then hold on a second. He got a new book. It's new to me. It's called
Okay,
Stop Exercising. Thank
the
you
way
so
you're
much,
doing it
Igor, for
now.
being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited about this.
Oh, me too, me too. So the book is new to me.
Okay,
I've never heard of that. So I've heard of Stop Exercising, but I never heard of the book Stop Exercising. So tell me about this.
cool. So yeah, this is my book, Stop Exercising, and the subtitle is The Way You're Doing It Now. So yeah, that's kind of the catch.
Mm,
But basically, I'm a personal trainer. I've been working as a personal trainer for almost 16 years now, and most of my clients come to me. They are women, typically between the ages of 40 and 60, looking to lose body fat. And I ask them, well, what are you currently doing? And then they explain to me what they're doing, what they've tried in the past, different diets, and they're all successful in the short term. None of them are successful in the long term. So I'm thinking, why not? Like, what else is it? What else does it take? And besides that, I'm thinking, and the question I always ask is, why do you want to lose weight? And it's always for some other reason. I want to look
hmm
better. I want to feel better. I want to have more energy. I want to prevent chronic conditions, the ones that my parents had, etc. Um, I want to sleep better. So it's for all these other reasons. So what the book goes into is all the things that are relevant, especially to women, to be able to lose weight. Things like hormonal balance, stress management, digestive health, motivation, and posture, and other things. So that's kind of the 30,000 foot view of it.
mm, mm. Now I'm gonna say this, and I may look young, but I'm past the childbearing age. And when I got, when I started going through that whole scenario, just put that, that time frame. I'm
Yeah,
still going through it, but it's like the stomach. What is up with that? I mean,
yeah.
literally, why, why,
Well,
why?
there's a reason for it. Before menopause, the primary organ that makes estrogen is the ovaries, but there are two other helper organs, and those are your adrenal glands and your body fat. Yes, body fat makes estrogen. Now, of course, during menopause, the ovaries no longer make estrogen, so the job falls to the only two other organs that can do it. Um, which are again the adrenal glands and body fat. So it's actually beneficial and desirable to add between 4 and 10 pounds of fat, not muscle, not bone, but fat during menopause, on condition that you weren't overweight to begin with. Because women who do add those 4 to 10 pounds of body fat during menopause have a better, easier, healthy menopause. Fewer hot flashes, better skin quality, better hair quality, better memory, better sleep, etc. I've had clients in the past who were menopausal women, and yet they were already at their ideal weight, but gained a little bit during menopause, as to be expected. We got them down so they looked better, but felt worse. Suddenly, they went from 2 or 3 hot flashes per day to about 15 to 20 hot flashes per day. They weren't sleeping as well. They weren't focused as well. So it's actually beneficial to gain body fat during menopause. But
Mhm.
of course, some women might ask, well, fine, why can't I gain it in my thighs, in my buns and thighs, like I did before menopause? Why specifically my belly? And
Mhm.
there's a reason for that. And that is because different fat storage patterns, like locations of body fat, not so much amount, are related to different hormones. And this is called biosignature. Biosignature is the idea that where you store your body fat tells us about your hormonal profile. And what does central body fat tell us? Central body fat is related to two hormones, cortisol and insulin. Why cortisol? Cortisol because it's secreted by the adrenal glands. So along with secreting estrogen postmenopausally, they also secrete cortisol. Um, so that's one reason, and often along with it comes insulin. So one of the effects of cortisol is to raise blood sugar, but the body doesn't like anything too high or too low. The body's like Goldilocks; it likes things in the middle. So when blood sugar is too high, it has to bring it down via insulin. So that's why body fat is gained, especially around the middle in the menopausal and the postmenopausal years.
I don't like my body right now.
But your body is reacting the best way it knows how, given the
Well,
current circumstances.
okay, so you said 4 to 10 pounds.
Yeah,
Home dude, this whole little body right here decided that they would just like multiply that by 3.
yeah, that happens sometimes. 4 to 10 is an average, but of course, to get to an average, some people are above average, some people are below average, and that's how you get the average.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people will gain 30. Um, because of for various different factors. Perhaps the cravings are higher. Research does show that with chronically elevated cortisol, the appetite is higher. You want to bring the cortisol down with starches, with delicious things, muffins, donuts, pastries, pasta, stuff like that. Um, that's one possible reason. Another one is less movement and less involuntary movement. One factor that helps us burn body fat that's very subconscious, we don't control it, is just fidgeting. Some people, they bounce their knee as they're just sitting at their desk. Some people click their pen. Some women twirl their hair. All these little things
Mm.
can add up to hundreds of calories per day. Now, again, we don't voluntarily do this. We don't sit down and put it in our schedule to balance our knee,
Right.
between 10 and 10:15 a.m. But all these small involuntary things can start to go away with different hormonal changes. Of course, it changes with sleep, changes with metabolism as well. I don't want to pin everything on metabolism because it is overblown by how much that changes with age. It changes zero between 20 and 60.
Mm.
So any changes in body fat are usually not attributable to changes in metabolism outside of certain chronic conditions like hypothyroidism and a couple others.
Uh, this is so complex. I just want to lose 20 pounds.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And it can
Uh,
be tough. Just remember, your body has gained body fat because it thinks that's the best way to deal with the stimuli that are being thrown at it. It thinks it's beneficial, so it's responding correctly to perhaps an incorrect stimulus. So what works before menopause still works during menopause. Sleep, exercise, nutrition. Um, but there is one other thing that comes into the picture during menopause, and that's hormonal balance. So it's important. I mean, there are natural, beneficial, and certain hormonal changes that should be expected during menopause, which is the lowering of estrogen, lowering of progesterone, lowering of testosterone. But there is such a thing as too low. A healthy menopausal profile of those hormones should look like the beginning of a menstrual cycle. The beginning of a menstrual cycle is before any hormones rise. That's what a healthy menopause should be like all the time instead of before cycling, like women did before menopause. Now, it could be too low, and that's where it's important to get tested. And if it is too low, talk to your doctor about what you can do to raise your estrogen, progesterone, and/or testosterone.
right. No, actually, she said I am a normal. I'm in the normal range. So even though I'm going through this whole thing, and even though I should be past it, I can still get pregnant. What is up with that, though? I don't understand that. That I don't understand.
That I'm
Yeah,
not sure either, because if you're menopausal, by definition, you can't get pregnant anymore.
I am
So
definitely. She says I'm not. She says I'm not. Like even though I don't have one, I am not menopausal yet. So I haven't finished going through, I guess.
Oh, so the official definition of menopause is 1 year since your last period. So you might not be having periods anymore, but if it hasn't been a year yet, then you're probably not in menopause yet. And menopause is a retroactive diagnosis. Two
It's been
years?
2 years and I'm still not down to a menopausal hormonal.
That's what she's talking about.
Right.
You could be high in certain hormones. Maybe they're just still coming down. But that's something that probably makes sense to track on a regular basis every 6 to 12 months and
Yeah, I've
see,
been doing that.
yeah, and look at
Yeah.
this. Is it coming down or is
Well,
it not coming down?
well, I'll tell you what. I tell you what. In my family, people tell you, "Oh yeah, girl, we in menopause." Next thing you know, they having twins. I don't trust that. My family is just like, no, okay. Some of my family members were 60 years old and they had babies.
Oh
And
wow.
they haven't had a period in 10 years. It is over, darling. I am not doing that. We're not doing that. All I want to do is
Okay.
lose 20 pounds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
We want to go through that. But this is amazing though, because I love this because a lot of women are going through certain things in their lives. They're going through the keto diet. Okay, keto doesn't work for me. I gain weight with keto.
Yeah, yeah. Every diet works if the calories are low enough. Whether the name of the diet is keto or paleo or Atkins or whatever it is, every
Mhm.
diet works if the calories are low enough. At the end of the day, weight loss is super simple. It's all about calories. In other words, that's really the only thing that matters. Whether you eat 2 large meals per day or 5 small meals per day, doesn't matter. Whether you eat after six or you don't eat after six, doesn't matter. Your ratio
Mm,
of carbs to fats doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is total calories, and
mm,
that's weight loss. Now, fat loss is a little bit more complicated, but not a lot.
right.
If the only thing that matters for weight loss is just total calories, the only two things that matter for fat loss are calories and protein. And the rest of it doesn't matter. Again, same thing. Whether you eat five small meals or 2 big meals a day doesn't matter. Whether you eat after six or you don't eat after six doesn't matter. All these
Mhm.
things don't matter. The only two things that matter for fat loss are total calories, total protein. So if the keto diet doesn't work for you, your carbs might be low, but something else might be high.
Mhm.
That's pushing you either over the edge or maintenance. And
Right.
that's the same thing for every diet. Again, regardless of whether it's keto or any other diet.
Right. Right. Well, I exert a lot of energy, and then plus muscle and toning can be super hard. And when you get older, it's like you tone, and then the muscles say no. You
Yeah.
can't do that. We will not
Yeah.
agree with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do about that?
Muscle gain and toning is hard regardless of your age. The only people who find it easy to gain muscle and tone are genetically gifted people, regardless of age. Now, yes, it does become harder as you age, and mostly because testosterone and estrogen levels go down, and to some extent, growth hormone, etc. Um, but testosterone is really the prime muscle building hormone, and that's why a man in the prime of his life can build somewhere between 40 to 50 pounds of muscle in his entire life. A woman can do between 20 and 25 pounds of muscle. And again, the prerequisite for that is hormonal balance and normal testosterone levels.
Right.
Testosterone is the muscle building hormone for both men and women. Um, so what can you do about it? What can you do to get tone and gain muscle? First of all, manage your expectations. With lower testosterone levels come lower muscle gaining potential. And therefore, if the peak for women is 20, 25 pounds, with lower testosterone levels, it's less than that. But again,
Mm.
that's 20, 25 pounds in her entire life, not in a
Wow.
year. Of those 20 or
Wow.
25 pounds, 10 to 12 pounds are going to come in the first year, 5 or 6 pounds in the second year, 3 or 4 pounds in the third year, and so on. So muscle gain is a very, very, very slow process, even in the first year. Um, so it's important to manage your expectations about the realistic speeds of muscle gain and toning.
Can we say that again? Yeah, because I don't think people understand that. Uh, women go to the gym and they want to after 6 months. We want to be like, bang, boom, bah.
Yeah.
Okay, and it just doesn't happen. So, what were the expectations of each year?
So in her entire life, a woman can
Mhm.
gain between 20 and 25 pounds of muscle. Of those, only 10 or 12 are going to come in the first year. So if you do the math, that's about a pound a month or slightly slower. Now, how are you going to track a pound a month when throughout your cycle you naturally fluctuate 3 to 5 pounds anyways?
Right.
Right. So it's very, very hard to track 1 pound changes across a month in muscle gain. Um, when that's within the variation of what you'd see normally with your menstrual cycle anyways.
Hmm.
Those are kind of the race: 10 and 12 pounds in the first year, 5 or 6 in the second year, 2 to 3 in
Wow,
the third year, and so on.
that is crazy. So, what? hold hold on a second. So, what we think we are expecting, we're expecting things that aren't really realistic.
Well, yeah, it depends what the expectations are. Some women indeed have realistic expectations, but a lot of not just women, but people who are following a lot of fitness influencers on social media, Instagram, TikTok, may have unrealistic expectations of what's normal,
Yeah.
what's physiologically sound.
Right, right. So physiologically speaking, in normal, an average of 10 pounds, of 10 to 12 pounds the first year. So
Yeah,
that, that's either between a point 0.8, point 0.7 pounds a month, depending on how you're doing it, all the
yeah,
way up to a pound a month.
yeah,
um,
exactly.
and that's it. So you're not, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, we're not gonna get like the smooth size all the time in the first year. It's gonna take a little bit longer than a year. Hold on. You could do this. You could do this. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
but with all of that speaking, you do you help, it does help with high blood pressure, diabetes, osteoarthritis, and osteoporosis. Tell
yeah.
me about that.
Sure. Blood pressure and diabetes are, well, I've written books about them. Here's the diabetes book, Type 2
Mm.
Diabetes Reversal Secrets, and here's the high blood pressure book, High Blood Pressure Reversal Secrets. Both hit the bestseller status on Amazon.
Mm.
And what I basically talk about in those books is the subtitle to both books is 4 Simple Steps to Lower Blood Pressure or Reverse Diabetes in 1 month Without Medications. The 4 simple steps are simple. Is nutrition, sleep, exercise, supplements. Now, the message is that you don't have to do all four to see very nice drops in blood pressure or blood sugar. Um, the next book will probably be osteoporosis. The one after that will probably be osteoarthritis.
Mhm.
But basically, there's more than one way to accomplish a goal. If one doesn't appeal to you, that's fine. There's 3 other ways to do it, and others that I just didn't discuss in my book because it's not my area of expertise.
Mhm.
Um, so essentially, the message is there's very small levers you can pull that can have big results on your health.
I like that. I like that. You guys got to get that book. I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes a while ago, and I don't have it anymore. But I figured out. I ended up in the hospital because of keto, and
Right.
so I don't do a keto diet, but I do a lower carb diet. But I love bread.
Yeah.
But literally, I love bread. But I love bread with a protein on it. So I love bread in a sandwich. I
Right.
love bread in with butter. I'll
Yeah.
have like maybe 1 or 2 pieces of that a day. And I'm actually literally dropping weight. How is that possible when you're not supposed to? I mean, does everybody's body do something different?
No,
I'm
everybody.
losing. I
Yeah.
don't want to interrupt you, but I'm losing stomach fat too. And
Awesome.
so I don't understand.
Yeah, everybody does the same thing predictably. If the
Mhm.
calories are low enough, everybody loses body fat, even if you're eating bread with butter. There was an American professor in one of the universities, and he wanted to make the point that the only thing that matters is calories. So he went on what he called the Twinkie Diet. For 30 days, he ate nothing but Twinkies. The only two things he added to that is a multivitamin, so he doesn't develop any outright kind of disease, and a protein shake. So again, he doesn't develop some kind of outright disease. But that's all he ate: Twinkies all day long. But he limited it to 1,000 calories of Twinkies, and he lost body fat. Now people are thinking, fine, so he's getting leaner because he's only eating 1,000 calories per day, 1,000 calories of Twinkies, but 1,000 calories nonetheless. But he's probably rotting on the inside. His cholesterol is probably bad. His blood sugar is probably bad, etc.
Right.
But they did the measurements and no, everything improved. Blood sugar improved on a pure sugar diet. I mean, what's a Twinkie? It's sugar and
Oh my
bread.
gosh.
His cholesterol improved. His triglycerides improved. All these things improved because he just simply lowered his calories. The
Mm.
thing about diets is that almost every diet shows benefit because it's being compared because of what it's being compared to. It's being compared to pretty much the worst possible diet, which is the standard North American diet.
Mm.
Um, Listen, if you compare the worst thing to the second worst thing, well, of course, the second worst thing is going to be a little bit better.
Mhm.
Now, in my opinion, we should be comparing the best thing to something that's potentially better. But that's not the point of reference. The point of reference is the worst possible diet, which is why you go from if you eat bread with butter and it satisfies a craving, it's very pleasurable to you, and you don't feel like eating other things. Well, then
Right.
you're going to eat fewer calories because of that. There's no other way about it. You for some reason, for you, eating bread with butter has allowed you to eat less of other things, and thereby lowering your calories. So again,
Right.
every body responds predictably to lower calories, and that's weight loss. Now, the
Mhm.
question is how low is lower? Realistically, that variation is very wide. Two people of the exact same age, gender, weight, might have very different caloric requirements, not just based on exercise, but also based on body composition, based on
Mhm.
physiological and pathophysiological status, and a few other factors. So if somebody's thinking that I'm already eating super low calories and I'm still not losing body fat, probably because you're either, for whatever reason, you're not burning as many calories as you think, or you're eating more than you think. Now, you're
Mm.
not doing this deliberately. You're not lying to other people or and yourself. You're just perhaps not aware of how many calories you're eating. So there are a few different variables why different things may not be happening the way you want them to happen.
That is wonderful. Yeah, because I know I don't eat as much as I used to. Like you said, that bread and butter is like, yeah, I'm done. I might have
Yeah,
a piece of fruit, a smoothie with protein in it,
yeah,
and I think I'm done for the day. I think I drink a lot of water, and then I'm
yeah,
done. Where in comparison, when I used to do keto, man, tell it's burgers with salads and all kinds of stuff all day long and gaining weight. So yeah, I'm really down to just what just a very small diet of um, very small fruits,
yeah,
vegetables, a piece of bread with butter,
yeah.
and
I
I
mean,
think this morning I had broccoli cakes. It was really good,
nice.
and that was
Yeah,
done. I think, yeah. So I mean, yeah, definitely. I can see now why. And a lot of people put this taboo on carbs, but like you said, it's really not the carbs. It's more of your calories and more of what you're intaking. Because, like I said, I was on the keto, I'm not, and I'm losing weight. That is
yeah,
wonderful. Wow.
absolutely. Carbs are not the problem. Excess calories are the problem because if you look empirically, what most of the world is on a high carb diet. After all, yeah, what do they eat in Asia?
Right.
Rice. What do they
Rice.
eat in Europe?
Mm-hmm.
Potatoes. What do they eat in
Mm-hmm.
South America? Corn and beans. Well, that's carbs, carbs, and more carbs.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, who's got the obesity problem? It's not Japan. It's not China. It's not Brazil. It's the US, UK, Canada, Australia, places like that.
Mm-hmm.
So carbs aren't the problem. Excess carbs are the problem. Excess calories are the problem.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, and to take things a step further, when people ask me what diet should I do to lose weight, the one I say is the one you can stick to.
Yeah.
After all, the issue is not the diet. Every diet is a pretty good diet if you stick to it, but that's the big problem, sticking to it. I mean, how
Mm-hmm.
many of us have ever gone on a diet, lost weight, but then regained it right back in 6 months or less?
Right.
With more than we start. So the problem isn't really the diet. The problem is adherence to the diet,
Mm-hmm.
which is really not a nutritional problem. It's not
Right.
a matter of having the right macronutrients. It's not about having the right carb to fat ratio. It's really more about emotional reasons, logistical reasons, behavioral reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't solve emotional, logistical, behavioral problems with nutritional solutions. We have to use certain mental, emotional exercises to reprogram the way we think and feel about and around food.
I love this. I love this because food is food and sleep and all the other stuff in between. But food and sleep are the two different things that people usually kind of skip on because they're running. They're so busy. They're so busy. But if we were to take a moment and just pack two slices of bread with butter, and then when we get hungry, just grab that and eat that and then not have to go to McDonald's or Burger King or anything, that'll just keep us until we can get home. I mean,
Yeah.
would that be a better solution? Bread and butter instead of McDonald's?
Bread and butter may be a better solution for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because in your case, you really enjoy it. It seems to make you want to eat less of other stuff. So perfect. You found the thing for you. But it may not be it for everybody. Some people like cheese. Some people like, protein bars. So you just have to find a solution that works for you. And sometimes it's a matter of testing. Success is rarely a linear process all the way up, or in this case, all the way down. Success is really a matter of kind of like the stock market. You go up a little bit, or in this case, you go down a little bit in weight, and then you regress a little bit. You fall off the bandwagon. The key is not to fall off too far, just to catch
Mm.
yourself back up and then keep going.
I like that. Don't fall off too far, y'all. Don't fall off too far. I love
Yeah,
that. I love that. So yeah, I mean, okay. So I found like some things that work for me. And I've cut my sugar out of the equation. I barely have anything with sugar in it anymore. Only like an orange, an actual orange, because
right.
not orange juice, but just an actual orange or pomegranate when they're in season and things like that, and strawberries and berries. I find that very pleasing. So let me ask you this question, because I'm putting this not only on our podcast, but I want to welcome the people who are listening to it on my weight loss channel as well. If they were to find that one thing that they love so much, that's something that is very healthy for them, they feel like as if they ate that or they kept that in a cooler in their car, and if they were on their way home or something, or a temptational moment would come, or a temptation, would taking that out and eating that satisfy not only psychologically but also physically?
Depends. So for those kinds of things, I say that it has to be satisfying. It has to be pleasurable, but it can't be triggering. In other
Mm,
words, I like chocolate. I love chocolate. It's satisfying, it's pleasurable, but it's also triggering. I can't
mm,
stop. That's why I don't keep it in the house. I have zero willpower, zero self-control. However, to me, eating like an orange or like grapes or cherries is delicious. It's satisfying, but it's also not triggering. I can stop when I feel full. With
mhm.
chocolate, I can feel full and keep going. So again, it has to be satisfying but not triggering.
Okay, I got you. So that's kind of like a cool little thing to do, and it could possibly help them to curb their appetite until they got home to actually eat something.
Yeah, yeah. Again, as long as it's not triggering,
Mhm.
it just needs to be satisfying enough so that you've fed the beast a little bit and
Right.
until you're ready to eat a proper meal.
Right. Now, I have one more question, and thank you so much, Igor, for being on the show. I appreciate it. The biggest question I have here is, what can people do to start on their diet and not fall too far off, and how can they reach you?
The easiest thing they can do is find. I run a program called Fat Loss Without Dieting. And one of the strongest tips I can give you from that program is just ask yourself before a meal on a -10 to a +10 scale, how hungry am I?
Mm.
-10 means I'm so hungry, my belly button is sticking to my spine. And +10 means I'm so full, I'm pregnant with triplets. Um, so wait until you're in the minuses to eat. If it's time to eat, but you're not hungry, don't eat. Wait until you are hungry. So if you just did that before each meal, that might be the most powerful thing you can do. More powerful than reducing carbs, more powerful than reducing fats, or not going to McDonald's or Burger King, whatever. Just ask yourself, how hungry am I really? And give it a -10 to a +10 rating. That's probably the
Mhm.
most effective thing you can do in the long term. Um, as for how people can reach me, as we mentioned earlier, people can get the free PDF version of the book if they just go to the website or to the link right on the page right now, which is fitnesssolutionsplus.ca/stop exercising. I'm pretty bad with social media, but I always you go grab the book. You'll have my email address as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you, Igor, for being on the show, man. I had such a pleasure talking with you, especially about fat weight and weight loss and blood pressure and menopause and all the things that women go through. I think men go through certain things as well, but we're not talking about men right now. We're talking about
Mm.
us. I
That's
want to thank you. Thank you so much. Do you have any suggestions to people, any pointers or anything that you'd like to leave us with today as we're done with the interview? But I mean, there might just be like that one more little thing that people can do. And don't forget to go to the website to get your free copy of that book, Stop Exercising. So don't forget, it's fitnesssolutionsplus.ca/stop exercising.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. As for tips, stop focusing on the diet. Start focusing on emotional eating, behavioral eating, and habit change. Um, so, in addition to asking yourself how hungry or full am I, one simple exercise that's very, very helpful for you to do to help you with your nutrition is at the beginning of the day, sit down either in front of your computer, in front of your smartphone, or best yet, in front of a piece of paper, and write down what you plan to have that day. Now, it doesn't have to be super fancy and super glorious. If you plan to have a chocolate cake, cool, write it down. It's in the plan. Um, this makes you way more likely to stick to it as opposed to if you don't plan it. All it needs to be is 30 seconds. Breakfast, I'm going to have this. Lunch, I'm going to have this. And dinner, I'm going to have this. So if you were between those two things, rating your hunger on a -10 to +10 scale and planning out what you're going to have that day, you're going to do way better than if you went on another diet.
I love it. I love it. Thank you again, Igor, for being on the show. Don't forget to go to fitnesssolutionsplus.ca/stop exercising and get your free copy. And don't forget to dare to be different. Igor, I'm going to have you back because we're going to have to talk about some more stuff about weight loss because I think this is going to go big.
Oh, I could go for hours.
Oh, me too. I want to lose weight, so I'm interested. I'm interested. Thank you
Sounds good.
so
Let's chat
much.
again.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And don't forget to dare to be different. Igor, hold on a second. I'll be right with you. And until next time, bye, guys.